So, good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. So, if everybody's ready, I think we can begin now. So, this webinar session will focus on Windows Embedded 8 for application developers. I am Fabien Decret, Device Application Development MVP, working from Adeneo Embedded. Andy Smith, who is working from our Europe, is here. So this webinar will be recorded. Recordings on slide will be available for download from Adeneo Embedded website. First one webinar is available. Next webinar will come next week. So for beginning, Andy, can you briefly present Arrow?
Thank you. Yes, I'm Andy Smith with Arrow Europe. I work in the OEM computing solutions business with Arrow. We're an authorized distributor for Windows Embedded, which is why we're here. We're also a distributor for hardware suppliers that sell embedded computing boards such as Contron, Advantech, Emerson, Intel, and display products. And recently we've also signed HP and IBM as OEM suppliers. And lastly, we have an integration service. So we have 7 worldwide integration centers, including 2 in the EMEA region, which means as well as offering distribution service, we can, if you need it, we can engage with you on integrating fully your solution and delivering a finished product to your end customer. So with that, Adeneo is a partner we're working with in Windows Embedded for a few years now and supporting our customers. And so Fabien will continue the presentation. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Andy. So this webinar is the last one of a 4 webinar series, how to take maximum advantage of Windows 8 embedded in the business environment. So my talk today will concern primarily the Windows Embedded 8 technical strength in industrial and business context, especially on IT side. So to introduce briefly Adeneo, we have a team of 60 engineers and working in Europe and America. So we are experts in Windows Embedded, system integrator for Windows Embedded. We are focused on activities on industrial market, deep involved with silicon vendor, and we are experts in application development for Microsoft, for Windows Embedded, Windows Phone. So to begin, we will now get into the main substance of what we are talking about today. So, as we said last week, Windows 8 is a great platform for building line of business applications that increase productivity and allow your employees to interact with their PC tablets in a more natural way. So, this line of business applications are generally only deployed to users that take part in the business operation for a particular enterprise. For this kind of needs, Windows Embedded 8 offers new possibilities for mobile productivity and enhanced end-to-end security by providing enterprise-class security capabilities. So here is the agenda of these sessions. So to begin with, I'll be speaking about new possibilities for mobile productivity. Then we'll examine how to ensure security on your devices. After that, I'll explain possibilities of management devices. Then we will look at how to deploy your system and your applications. And then I will present to you the Windows Embedded dedicated tools. And finally, we will finish by how to access to your device drivers and a small conclusion to finish this webinars on this 4 webinar series. So first of all, we will talk about the new possibilities for mobile productivity. The aim here is to help mobile workers to be more productive, and for that, Windows 8 provides expanded connectivity options for mobile users, allowing them to be productive practically anywhere. So moreover that, Windows Embedded 8 provides enhanced end-to-end security features. So let's take, for example, on the security side, you can have capabilities, for example, keep clients more secure against malware intrusions, better protected with data encryption, for example. So to start with, we will see Windows to Go. So what is Windows to Go? Windows to Go allows Windows Embedded 8 to boot on one from mass storage devices, such, for example, a USB flash drive or an external hard drive. So with these features, IT administrators can create a managed corporate desktop on a bootable USB drive that workers can take with them wherever they go. It's like you have a secure corporate PC in your pocket. So Windows to Go is a cost-effective solution that enables several alternative workplace scenarios. So for example, your IT administrators can provide users with this corporate image that include line of business applications, your settings, your corporate data, all on a certified USB storage device. So your users could have a consistent Windows 8 experience on any corporate or personal PC with the USB stick. When users will boot on this USB key, they get a rich, consistent, and personalized Windows 8 experience that is secure as a fully managed PC. And when they shut down their device, they can remove the USB device and no data is left on the host PC. So you can use it everywhere. Your IT administrator can manage your Windows 8 Embedded 8 environment using group policy, and security features are available. For example, user can stay connected to corporate resources by using DirectAccess. It is also possible to encrypt your Windows to Go drive using BitLocker. We will see into this feature detail below. So now that we have seen Windows to Go, let's have a look at DirectAccess. So DirectAccess help your client PC to connect to the corporate network. It's critical, as we said in the last session, that your clients are able to easily create secure connections, and don't forget, these connections must be authenticated with strong authentication. So what we need? We need to make the users more mobile. We need to access to internet resources from everywhere. We need to stay connected to continually, and all that for working more efficiently. So the DirectAccess feature included in Windows Embedded 8 can do this for you. So one example, traditionally mobile workers connect to an internet resource by using a VPN, virtual private network. However, using a VPN can be inconvenient because the users must start the VPN connection and wait for authentications completed. You can also use authentication factors such as smart cards. That has been a popular method. However, these authentication methods are expensive and quite difficult to provisions. So direct access features will do all these connections and remotely connections all automatically for you. So you will have with direct access a remote transparent access. You will have permanent connections with your backend, your system informations, and all that with security. So with the three keys of security that you have said, last week for accessing to the cloud, authentications, data encryptions, and access controls. So let's see this diagram. So with Windows Embedded 8, direct access is easier to deploy than Windows Embedded 7, easier to provision to clients, and the clients can now take advantage of modern authentificators for multi-factor authentications. So don't forget this. It is very important for you, the security of your data. Modern authenticators are going to enable you to use your PC as a virtual smart card device. So you can connect it with all security with strong authentications to your company network. So now that we have an idea of what direct access is, let's turn our attention to optimize the access to the resources. So for beginning, we examine carefully Branchcache. So what is Branchcache? Branchcache is a wide area networking boundaries optimization technology. So what is it doing? It downloads files, apps, or other content from your headquarters and stores this content in your branch office. So your client computers can then access to this content locally rather than repeatedly downloaded across the wireless area network. So by using this Branchcache feature, you can reduce your internet access, internet use, and the time required for branch workers to access data on the network. So it is included with Windows Embedded 8 Embedded, and it allows apps that use networking protocols to be more responsive and users in remote offices to experience higher performance on their local area network. So you have the same experience on your wide area network than in your local area network. So there is a cache of the data in your local area network. With Branchcache, there is two modes of operations. So you have distributed cache mode. So what is it? In a distributed cache mode, the content cache at the branch office is distributed among client computers. On the other side, you can deploy in hosted cache mode, and with this mode, the content cache at the branch office is hosted on one or more server computers, which are called hosted cache servers. So let's look at this diagram. So this diagram summarizes the operation context of Branchcache. So to sum up, primary objective of Branchcache is to improve the network and the data delivery performance. So you avoid to spend time working, you gain in time, so you can have more time to work, and you can reduce time for waiting. So it will give customers more bandwidth savings and better network performance. So it helps to improve the experience. It helps improving the experience for people who are mobile and on the go. So now I would like to focus on the security aspects. So firstly, let's have a look at trusted boot. So Trusted Boot is a feature available with Windows 8. So UEFI is meant to replace the old BIOS firmware interface. So UEFI for Unified Extensible Firmware Interface. So it will replace your old BIOS. So it allows to secure the boot process by preventing the loading of drivers or OS loaders that are not signed with an acceptable digital signature. So you have to using firmware policy to validate the OS loader, and UEFI will only launch a verified OS loader, such as Windows Embedded 8 standard. Essentially, you can say that malwares can't replace the bootloader. So you have this third security feature for the boot process. So furthermore, Windows Embedded 8 provides a more secure foundations to help to keep your business running. So one example is AppLocker. So what is AppLocker? AppLocker, it will help you to prevent non-standard software applications from affecting computers in your environment. It prevents also users from installing and using unauthorized applications. It will implement application control policy to satisfy portion of your security policy. So it's a simple and flexible mechanisms that allows your IT administrators to specify exactly which apps are allowed to run on your user's PC. So it allows IT administrators to create security policies for group policies, as I said. So what is the advancement in Windows Embedded 8? AppLockers is available for the applications downloaded from the Windows Store. So these Windows 8 features will help to protecting the operating system and data from cyber attacks, for example. But what happens if the device is lost or stolen? In many cases, data on your device is a total risk, and data on unprotected device can be easily viewed or copied from someone. So to address this kind of problem, Windows 8 supports the Trusted Platform Module, TPM, and BitLocker for further security to prevent an unauthorized user from getting access to the critical data. So let's have a look on this. So what is BitLocker? So as I said, BitLocker helps you to protect data from lost, stolen, and inappropriately decommissioned computers. It will help you to keep everything from documents to passwords safer by encrypting the entire drive that Windows or use this space only. You choose or the entire driver on the use this space only. One new feature is that BitLocker supports encrypted drives that come pre-encrypted for the manufacturer, so it is more performant. It's improved. Provisioning is improved in Windows Embedded 8, so encryption process can be integrated into setup to simplify the process of encrypting your new PC and reduce the time it takes to provision. And concerning the increasing of performance, as I said, you can use encrypted drives that are able to perform all the encryption functions very quickly, faster than the classical encryptions on a traditional drive. So, in addition, concerning the security, you have Windows Defender. So what is it? Windows Defender is an anti-malware option for Windows Embedded 8. It helps to protect your device against malware, spyware. You have real-time protections, and you can keep your system updated with automatic updates. So in Windows Embedded 8, Windows Defender provides real-time protection, as I said, and the engine and the signatures of Windows Defender are the same used by Microsoft Security Essentials. And you can define automatically scan at the time defined for automatic maintenance in your automatic center, in your action center, sorry. So one other important thing is how can I manage my embedded devices. So management of this device is a key piece. So System Center integrates now the support of Windows Embedded. So it reduces the cost of maintaining secure endpoints with unified management and security infrastructure. You will have a centralized management and protection system, a single administrator experience, because all your old tools, for example, like Windows Embedded Device Manager and Configuration Manager, are now included in System Center. So you can manage all your Windows Embedded devices. So, for example, Windows Embedded based thin clients, point of sale, terminal, digital signage, kiosk, or others, and so on. So now let's have a look on how to deploy your applications on your Windows Embedded devices. So for OEM, you can have pre-installations of applications on your Windows Embedded devices. So for Windows Embedded, the store is not just an app store. There are some differences between the Windows Store for PCs and the business of Windows Embedded and OEM and developer on embedded solutions. So there is a program. This program is called App Certification Program for Windows Embedded. This program is for OEM, and this program allows OEMs and their developer ecosystem to manage, test, and certify modern apps. So for Windows Embedded, so remember, modern apps are the applications that based on modern UI and fully integrated on the Windows Embedded 8 desktop. So this application certification program is based on the Windows App Certifications program, classical. It is so this program dedicated for Windows Embedded uses the Windows Store infrastructure and resource model to assist in the managing, testing, and the certifications of apps for the Windows Embedded 8 devices. So if you develop an application, you don't need to have this access for your development and testing purposes. You can ask easily with Visual Studio 2012 to have a programming license. So you may develop, test, and deploy your applications without having these applications certified. So it is very important. And then, once you have completed your development and are ready to provide your apps to an OEM for pre-installations for Windows embedded devices in a production scenario, for example, these applications must be certified for the ACPWE process. So for your test and development needs, you don't need to be certified, but when you want to pre-install your applications or on your OEM devices, you have to be enrolled in this process. Your OEM have to be enrolled in this process. Once an OEM is onboarded on this program, they will be able to register Microsoft account for third-party ISVs that they work with. So this Microsoft account via Live ID, for example, this ISV will then can submit their applications to the application certification program for Windows Embedded 8, as they would with any app for the Windows Store. So each OEM has a channel in the store where they can register their ISV accounts to the channels. So when an app is submitted by a registered ISV, these apps are exclusive to the corresponding OEM channel. So on the other side, you have side loading. So what is side loading? So for people who don't know what is side loading is typically means that you install an application package on your device that was not downloaded directly from the Windows Store infrastructure. So you install a package directly on your device. So this mechanism is not available for Windows Embedded OEM. It is not possible to have side loading in Windows Embedded 8. Enterprise customer can have volume license key to authorize side loading features on their devices, so you can unlock these features. And to deploy your applications on your device, then you will have two primary tools. You have DISM and PowerShells allowed to you to deploy applications directly on your device in local. So remember that Windows Embedded support traditional classical Win32 applications, and you can install and run Win32 applications directly without any certifications, without any certifications program directly on your computers. And remember that your old applications with some adaptations sometimes could run on your new Windows Embedded 8 system. So parallel to these tools oriented more IT side, more security, deployment, encryption side, you have with the Windows Embedded 8 a set of tools that allows you to create your Windows Embedded 8 operating system image. So as we said in the first webinars, Windows Embedded 8 allows you to create a consistent configurations to meet the line of business needs of your customers. So for this, you have to customize your Windows Embedded image. For doing this, there are some specialized tools available, namely Image Builder Wizard, Image Configuration Editor, Module Designer, and Embedded Lockdown Manager. So we will look at these 4 tools. So firstly, we have Image Builder Wizard. So what is it? So Image Builder Wizard is a wizard tool to quickly generate a Windows Embedded Standard A image. So it enables to OEM ISVs to easily select your operating system and device lockdown features to install on your target hardware. So these tools it's a very quick and easy process to test a custom operating system on a targeted device. So this tool runs directly on the target. So Image Builder is an interactive setup wizard, and as I said, that is intended to be run on the target hardware directly. So you take your CD of Windows Embedded, and then you can generate in local your custom image with a wizard to create an image and a very quick and easy image custom operating system of your image. So this is for a standard image. And secondly, if you need more configurations, more customizations, you have Image Configurations Editor. So this tool provides an advanced operating system configuration tools. So you can configure your operating system images, including reuse of configuration and manipulations of operating settings. So in Windows Embedded 8, you have enhancements in Image Configuration Editor. So Image Configurations Editor is now easier to use, and it is more quickly. You can create an image in less time, consuming designing a custom operating system and integrate third-party software. So it is more performant, and you can create an image very quickly and very easily. Then you have another tool called Module Designer. So what is Module Designer? Module Designer is a tool used to create and modify custom modules for Windows Embedded 8 standard. So for you, Module Designer making it easy to manage your custom software on the targeted design. So you can easily integrate a third-party software. You can easily integrate a new driver for a dedicated device. You can easily add a new module, new features on your operating system. You can create new features and then integrated it to your operating system. And to finish, the last tools is the Embedded Lockdown Manager. So these tools, ELM, is a new tool in the Windows Embedded 8 standard that allows the IT Pro to administer your embedded device configurations remotely and from one place. And you can manage many devices from one place. So what you can do with these embedded lockdown managers, you can, for example, manage the UWF, Unified White Filters. So this filter allows you to create read-only devices. You can configure your gesture filter. So as I said on the first webinar, gesture filter allows you to disable gestures in your Windows Embedded 8 operating system. You can manage dialog filter. So what is dialog filter? As I said on the first webinar, dialog filter allows you to prevent applications and system dialog pop-ups. And embedded lockdown managers allows to manage the keyboard filters. So as also I said on the first webinar, keyboard filter allows you to block keystroke combinations. So for example, if you want to avoid people put the Ctrl-Alt-Del keystroke combinations. So this tool allows you to create export configuration settings to PowerShell script. So you can save your configurations into PowerShell script and then you can put it on other devices. So now that we have an idea on how to create operating system consistent image, let's turn our attention to how to access to the hardware from a modern application. So Windows Embedded 8 devices may interact with different types of dedicated connected device. We will not cover in this session how to access to specialized access. We will not cover in details in these sessions how to access to specialized hardware devices, but just to give you an idea on how we can do, we will just look at a few samples. So, for example, how to interact with a USB device. You can use the Windows driver framework driver, so WDF. You can interact with a removable storage device connected to the system, such as a camera, a media player, mobile phone, or a USB thumb drive. You can, for example, interact with a Bluetooth low energy health devices, FOG, the Windows Portable Device, WPD drivers. And you can also interact directly in C++ with Device Access API, which allows you to communicate directly with specialized devices in Windows 8. So for this, a custom driver must be implemented to communicate with your modern applications. So all these methods will allow you to connect to bring to connected devices manufacturers to leverage the embedded capabilities of these devices for a modern UI application device. So To conclude, we can say that with all these tools, all these IT tools, we can say that Windows Embedded 8 is a great platform for business because it delivers the experiences that IT departments need. Then Windows 8 can help your employees to be more productivity. So with the mobile side, and it helps you to keep your data more secure. So with all the features concerning the security, and it allows to OEMs to deliver a highly customizable and componentized operating system. So with the 4 tools we described just before, you have the possibilities, availability to customize totally, to adapt your operating system to fit to your requirements, to your needs. And then you can create a modern applications or a classical Win32 applications for your system. And then you have possibility to deploy your applications via a private store dedicated to OEMs. So we now see a summary of these 4 webinars. So on the first webinar, we have seen how modern UI applications are well fit to create line of business applications. So remember, with all the features that modern UI and Windows Embedded 8 allowed to you, such as, for example, all the contract, all the charms, the search charms, the share charms. You can also have all the touchable components that the Windows Embedded 8 SDK offers to you. With other tools like Visual Studio 2012 allows to you to create. With the tool dedicated to the design side, Blend, Microsoft Blend, and with the guidelines, Modern UI, that provide to you to create an integrated application for Windows Embedded 8. So this line of business applications could be fully integrated with operating system, with a business desktop under Windows 8. So we have seen that on the second webinar. We have seen that you can interact with the users via the tiles. So your applications can dynamically update the tiles of your application. The tiles of your applications can be remotely updated via push notifications from the cloud. You have an integrated cloud and fully compatible with Windows Embedded 8 that are Azure. Azure provides to you some ways to create a cloud environment, a connected environment and with the integrations of databases management, with a push notifications management, with you can offer web services, data web services to your customer. Windows Embedded 8 is a part of intelligent system and enable access to business critical information via the cloud. So as we have seen last week, you have a lot of modern authentication integrated process. For example, like ACS allowed to use Active Directory integrated in Azure to authenticate the users of your applications. You have integrated tools that allow to be productive practically anywhere and enhance the end-to-end security of your system, of your platform. And we are on board with the IT administrators. And to finish, we have seen the dedicated Windows Embedded 8 tools to create a custom operating system targeted your requirements. So this is the end of this 4 webinars. So thank you for your attention. Thank you for your participation. And if you have questions or others, you can ask to me or Andy. And the 4 webinars will be available on our website. The first webinar is available, and the next will be available in the next weeks. So again, thank you, and if you have a question, don't hesitate.
Thank you, Fabien. While you're thinking of your questions, just to mention that we will send a follow-up email with links to all of the downloads so you can view again or share with your colleagues. Also, I'm very aware that Windows Embedded 8 is a family of products. There are products including the Windows Embedded standard product, also industry-specific versions for retail and other markets. And we're getting a lot of questions and interest from customers about how we can choose the right product, which product meets the needs of the end customer, and what are the advantages and the comparisons for each one. So this is an area where we expect some questions, and what I suggest is that we take those one-to-one with each of you as customers. We have the pricing today for each of these products, and we can talk with you and advise you about which direction to travel. So that's just to indicate that there's actually some changes since Windows Embedded 7. The 8 product brings some new SKUs and some new options. So we'll welcome your questions about that. Fabien, did you see any questions yet posted?
Yeah, I have one question. It is not a technical question. Is it possible to have the link for downloading the slide of the course? So yes, we will put a link on the Adeneo website, and you will have a link for downloading or for watching the streaming presentation.
Yeah, and again, we will send to everyone who registered for this event, we will send an email next week, which will give you all the links you need. So it takes a few days for each one of these sessions to be prepared, ready for posting. So you can anticipate a short delay between posting, but all of it will be public. Any more questions? So, Fabien, if there's nothing more,
Andy, I have a question.
Okay.
So we are testing to make a Windows Embedded Standard 8 image file, and we are looking for how to reduce the image file to run under 2 GB compact flash drive. Please tell us how to reduce the Win6s folder. So you have to choose the components that you want to add in your image. You have to, with your image configuration editor, you can remove some components of your image. After, it's a case by case, and we have to look at what you need and what we can remove from your Windows Embedded Standard 8 image. You can send me an email if you want, and I can ask you some advices in regarding what you want in your product.
Yeah. So, Fabian, if you have the detail of the person who asked that question, we'd be happy to take that offline. I'm sure, as you mentioned, it's case by case, depends what you need. 2 GB should be achievable.
Yes.
If you include everything in Windows 8, then of course it'll be a large file, but the whole purpose of the standard product is that it is customizable. So, but we need to understand your application and what resources you need in the operating system. So let's take that offline, and we can definitely support you and find a way to meet your requirements.
Yes, agree with you. And I have another question, which is it similar to Windows Embedded Standard 7? So it is a new version of Windows Embedded Standard. You have the new modern UI desktop. You have a a lot of features that increase performance, and easy way to configure your operating system. So it is similar to Windows Embedded Standard, but it is a new version with a lot of new features.
Yeah, and another way to answer that question, we have a lot of customers interested in whether Windows Embedded or Windows 8 is a direction they should move. The good news is, if you're familiar with the development process for Windows Embedded Standard 7, then it didn't change a great deal. So the fundamental operating system and the process for developing your image is the same process. Some improvements to the tool, but essentially the same. So that's the good news. If you find that there's no features in Windows 8 that are interesting for you, or you have no customer asking for that, then you can stay where you are. But usually it's around the application and the UI that is driving customer interest, which is the reason for focusing on that aspect in this series of webinars, because we anticipate in the market customers interested to develop applications that take advantage of the modern UI and all of the features in Windows 8. So you have the choice. As an OEM, you have the possibility to use Windows 8, but continue to use the old application environment. But to get the full advantage of Windows 8, we see people choosing to use the modern UI and the new user interface. So it really depends what your customer is asking for, whether it makes sense for you.
Okay, thank you, Andy. And I will add, it will be too bad to not utilize the new features that we have presented in these 4 webinars.
Of course. But very honest, my experience is that in the embedded marketplace and the OEM space, then many features that are in the consumer space, they are interesting, but you need to decide for yourself as an OEM if it is important to implement everything today, or if it's most important to be on a stable platform. So we have that choice, and Windows Embedded 8 gives us access to all the new technologies, and you have the same familiar environment, so it's very fast and very easy to move forward if you choose to do it.
Yes, thank you. So I think we have no more questions. So again, thank you to all, and see you later. And if you have questions, don't hesitate to send me an email to me or to Andy if you have questions, technical questions, or questions concerning distributors. So again, thank you, and see you later. Andy, that's okay for you?
Thank you, yes, and you know where we are, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for your time.